Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023, and that means that tonight I will be reviewing AEW Dynamite. Alright, but let's kick things off talking about this dream match. Kenny Omega versus El Hijo del VIkingo. This was a very highly anticipated match, and believe me, it lived up to the hype because, wow, this match was incredible. This was my first time ever seeing El Hijo del VIkingo wrestle, so I was highly impressed by him. I've heard of him, but I had never seen him wrestle, so I was really looking forward to this match. So one thing I found interesting was that Justin Roberts started listing Kenny Omega's accomplishments, and he came out to his own music. So I wonder if they're going to split him from the Bucks. So from my understanding, this match with Omega and El Hijo del VIkingo was actually supposed to take place in 2021 before Kenny Omega had to relinquish the Type A Mega Championship. And as we learned from Justin Roberts, Kenny Omega held the Type A Mega Championship for 765 days, winning it from Rey Fénix in 2019 and holding it all the way until November, where he had to vacate the title due to injuries. So before the match even starts, El Hijo del VIkingo attacks Kenny Omega with a tope to the outside. So when the match officially starts, El Hijo del VIkingo does a hurricanrana to Kenny Omega, which he followed up with a corkscrew kick and then a knee strike through the ropes. I thought that was a pretty impressive combination. I mean, that was impressive. Then he did a shooting star press to Kenny Omega, a 450 splash. This match had me glued to my screen. So at some point, Kenny Omega set up a table, and the crowd starts chanting, "We want tables." They did back and forth chest chops on the ring apron. Kenny Omega did a flip on the apron to El Hijo del VIkingo. And I thought this next combo was pretty cool. So El Hijo del VIkingo did a kick to the side of the head to Omega, which he followed up with a Dragon Rana from the apron to the floor. And then afterwards, oh my God, this was really, really impressive. He did a Hurricanrana. And then afterwards, from the middle rope, he did a Phoenix splash to Kenny Omega. That, holy smokes, that incredible combo. I was blown away by that. Kenny Omega hit at El Hijo del VIkingo with the V-trigger, and I thought it was over. But no, he kicked out. That reverse hurricanrana was incredible. I've seen a reverse hurricanrana before, but the way El Hijo del VIkingo did, just smooth. El Hijo del VIkingo did a 630 splash to Kenny Omega through the table, which was holy smokes, impressive. That was really, really cool. Both men are down. They go down, and you're thinking, holy smokes, who's gonna get up first? But both men successfully managed to beat the 10 count. And at last, though, Kenny Omega hits the one-wing angel, and he beats El Hijo del VIkingo in an incredible main event. And honestly, I would not mind seeing this match again. This was amazing. This certainly lived up to the hype, to the expectation. I gotta start watching Type A because El Hijo del VIkingo is amazing. I cannot believe I was missing out on what he can do. I gotta start watching more of his matches. Does anybody have a match from El Hijo del VIkingo they would like to recommend so I could check out more of his stuff? Definitely let me know in the comments. All right, well, with that being said, that concludes this section. So I know stuff happened after the match, but I'll talk about that when I do the full review. But I just really wanted to talk about the main event first. So now that's out of the way, let's kick things off. So Dynamite opened up tonight with the Young Bucks. They got attacked, and we didn't see the attack. We didn't see who attacked them. We just saw the aftermath. They were being wheeled into an ambulance, and Hangman ended up leaving with Matt Jackson in the ambulance. Now, Don Callis is holding Kenny Omega back. Because to remind you, Kenny Omega has this big dream match with El Hijo del VIkingo later tonight, which is the main event of Dynamite. So he's trying to, stop him from leaving. All right, so tonight's opening contest was the Trios Tag match. It was Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Sting versus the Butcher, the Blade, and Kip Sabin with Penelope Ford. So Kip Sabin mocking Orange Cassidy. You guys remember Kip Sabin and Orange Cassidy had a rivalry for that All-Atlantic title. Butcher and Blade hit Sting with a double suplex, and Darby Allin hits Kip Sabin with the Code Red. But of course, as he goes for the pin, Penelope Ford causes a distraction. So at some point, Kip Sabin enters the ring, and he's just standing there trying to be showboating. And Sting enters, and he has no idea Sting is behind him. So when he turns around, I actually really love the fact that Sting was mimicking Orange Cassidy. That was hilarious. He did the kicks, which I thought was really funny. So afterwards, you get Sting doing the Scorpion Deathlock to Kip Sabin. You got a double coffin drop off the middle rope to Butcher and Blade by Darby Allin. You have a knee to Darby Allin by Kip Sabin. Orange Cassidy hits the Slumdog Millionaire to Kip Sabin. And then Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop to Kip Sabin. And so Sting, Orange Cassidy, and Darby Allin are victorious. And then Orange Cassidy puts his sunglasses on Sting. And while that's happening, you see Darby Allin stare at the Double or Nothing sign. So he definitely wants to challenge for the title at Double or Nothing. I think we'll probably get a fatal 4-way between all 4 pillars for the AEW World title at Double or Nothing. So next we get the AEW World Tag Team title match. It is Top Flight versus the Guns. This was actually a good match. I really like that Darius Martin did the standing Spanish fly to Colton. Now, as this match was happening, the Kingdom came out and attacked Darius Martin, who was on the outside. This allowed the Guns to hit the 310 to Yuma to poor Dante Martin, and Darius Martin chased after the Kingdom, and the Guns are victorious, so they successfully retain against Top Flight. Now, I know Top Flight beat the Kingdom at Final Battle during 0 Hour, so the Kingdom is probably looking to avenge that loss, probably at Super Card of Honor. So afterwards, FTR comes out, and Colton starts saying that no one wants to see FTR, no one wants to hear FTR, they don't like FTR, they don't respect FTR, and all 3 of them lost 3 sets of belts, and FTR lost to them. And so they start saying that nothing FTR says will grant them another title opportunity. So Cash offers that if FTR cannot beat the Guns, they will never challenge for the tag titles, but that's not good enough. Cash offers that if they lose to the Guns, FTR will break up, but that's still not good enough. So finally, Dax says that if they cannot beat the Guns for those tag titles, they will leave AEW. And finally, the Guns relent and accept a match against FTR. So there's this big mystery surrounding FTR's contract status. It's rumored that their contracts expire in April, and that they could potentially leave AEW. So the fact that they said that they're offering to leave AEW if they can't beat the Guns for those tag titles is quite interesting. But it's also unpredictable because this all could be a storyline, and FTR could win those tag titles, or, you know, FTR will lose and they will leave AEW when their contract expires. So I don't know what to think here, but I am intrigued. And I don't think this match is going to be for Double or Nothing. If their contract is expiring in April, it'll definitely happen before Double or Nothing. But what do you guys think? Is FTR leaving, or is this all part of one elaborate storyline? Let me know in the comment section down below. So we get a Jade Cargill backstage interview in which she talks about how Taya Valkyrie interrupted her moment and she had the audacity to use her finisher. So Smart Mark Sterling drops some document, and Jade says that Taya is no longer able to use the Jaded because Smart Mark Sterling says that this has been Jade's finisher for a long time now. So it's quite hilarious that this is happening, considering the fact that Jaded is the Glam Slam, which is Beth Phoenix's finisher. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. Layla Gray said she will personally deliver the message to Taya on Rampage. So we find out that it's going to be Taya Valkyrie versus Layla Gray on Rampage. Afterwards, we get a no DQ match. It's Stokely Hathaway versus Hook with the firm ban from ringside. Now, Stokely Hathaway tries to get out of this by saying that Doc Samson said he's not medically cleared to compete. He hands Justin Roberts a note, but it turns out to be a receipt from Wingstop that said that he's sick written on it. So this match was essentially a squash match for Hook. I mean, he won this pretty quickly with the red rum. And then backstage, you see Matt Hardy attempting to motivate Ethan Page into avenging Stokely Hathaway by having him challenge Hook for the FTW title. I still think that maybe this is going to lead to Ethan Page versus Matt Hardy. And if it doesn't lead to that, then somehow, someway, Matt Hardy's going to get out of his contract. But in terms of Hook, he has an undefeated streak, which they don't really promote as much like they do Jade Cargill. I wonder why that is. But again, Adam Cole, Bay, in-ring promo. And he starts off by saying, who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? He says that he are 7 days away from returning to the ring, which he makes his grand return next Wednesday on Dynamite. He says he feels freaking great. He's never been more ready to get back in the ring. He starts talking about the big question is, who is going to be Adam Cole's opponent on March 29th? And guess who comes out? Daniel Garcia comes out and he mocks Adam Cole by saying, "Story time with Daniel Garcia, baby." And the crowd starts chanting, "Shut the F up." He starts talking about how since Cole's been away, he became a veteran and has become a locker room leader. And as locker room leader, Daniel Garcia took it upon himself to welcome Adam Cole back and put him in his place. Daniel Garcia starts talking about Brody King, Ricky Starks, and Bryan Danielson, people he beat, and that he's been main eventing AEW programming more than anyone else. I really like the fact that Daniel Garcia accidentally called himself a pro wrestler instead of sports entertainer, but he caught himself. So he stopped midway and then called himself a sports entertainer. And he asked Adam Cole what exactly makes him so special. And so Adam Cole says that when the bell rings, that is what makes him special, which I feel like this is kind of a throwback to what he told Karrion Kross during his time on NXT. Adam says that despite not wrestling for 9 months, he's still Adam Cole, baby. And he's found a second chance. So for the first time ever, we're going to get Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. He says not only is this match his return match, but it's also a statement to the locker room that one of the best pro wrestlers is back. Adam Cole says that next week is going to be a great night for him and for the fans, but not for Daniel Garcia. And Adam Cole says he will see Daniel Garcia next week. I was really surprised to see that it was Daniel Garcia. I was not expecting Daniel Garcia at all to be Adam Cole's returning opponent. I was expecting somebody else. I was expecting maybe a Forbidden Door opponent here, but nope. Maybe a new signee, but it was Daniel Garcia. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be a good match regardless. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. We get a Kenny Omega and Don Callis backstage segment in which Kenny Omega says that he thinks he should have left with the Bucks. Don Callis says that the Bucks going to the hospital might be a good thing so that Omega can focus on his dream match. And he goes into the camera and says that the God of Pro Wrestling is back. So then we get Jon Moxley versus Stu Greyson, who is having his big singles match return. This was a good match, but Stu Greyson immediately went after Jon Moxley as he was mad about what Jon Moxley did to Evil Uno. Jon Moxley sends Stu Greyson into the barricade spine first. He stomps on Grayson. He slaps him. You have Stu Greyson doing elbow strikes to Jon Moxley. Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castelloni attempt to distract Stu Greyson, but Alex Reynolds and John Silver get in their face. And then Stu Greyson took out Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castelloni. Moxley does a back rake to Stu Greyson, which he followed up with a headbutt. He hits him with the Avalanche Death Rider, and Jon Moxley is victorious. Which, good match, but, you know, the BBCs are obviously heels now, and seems like this feud with the Dark Order is not over yet. We get a QTV segment, and basically with this, you just find out that there's an open challenge set for Rampage for the TNT title, and it is Penta Es Cero Miedo versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Not a huge fan of QTTV. We get Sky Blue versus Toni Storm, and honestly, like, how many times have we seen a variation of this match? Like, I could have sworn we've seen this match before. I could have sworn we've seen Sky Blue versus Toni Storm before. Like, haven't we seen this match before? This match, it was okay the first time, but now it's like, really, again? And then again, the same thing happens. Riho and Willow come out before the Outcast spray paint Sky Blue. You know, Toni Storm is victorious, but, like, what's the point of facing Sky Blue? Like, can't you face anybody else? Like, we've seen this match, and it's not a big fan of this match. We're going to Stu Greyson backstage segment in which he's being looked at by medical. And while this is happening, Jon Moxley attacks him, and Dark Order is nowhere to be found. After this, we get the dream match is Kenny Omega versus El Hijo Del VIkingo, but I talked about it at the beginning, so I'm just going to jump ahead to the end after the match, so we can talk about what happened at the end. So at the end of the match, Tony Schiavone enters the ring, and he's about to talk to Kenny Omega, but the BBC attack Kenny Omega, and then all of a sudden an ambulance arrives with Hangman Adam Page, and as he's making his way to the ring, the BBC leave. And so, you know, there he is, Hangman sitting in the ring, in the middle of the ring with his, like, I think 2x4, and Don Callis is tugging on him. And meanwhile, Kenny Omega is, like, laid out because BBC attacked him. And so then Don Callis drops himself to the floor as Kenny Omega is getting up, and Kenny Omega thinks Hangman attacked Don Callis. And that is how Dynamite goes off the air. So a couple things. I think it's safe to say that it was BCC who attacked the Bucks to start the show. given the fact that they attacked Omega and they attacked Dark Order. They're just attacking everybody. And it also seems to me like Don Callis is trying to separate Kenny Omega from the Elite or from the Bucks. He did say that the God of Pro Wrestling is back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next week with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, especially if we'll see if the Bucks are back too. But overall, I thought tonight's Dynamite was actually not too bad. I enjoyed the opening contest. That dream match was amazing. There were a few things that brought the show down tonight, but aside from that, I thought overall tonight was a really good Dynamite. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 for tonight's show. With that being said, that concludes this review. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I hope to see you guys live Friday after SmackDown, since Rampage will be on Saturday. If not, then regardless, I will still see you guys Friday. Bye.